There was once the bull run of ICOs, then came the bull run of decentralized finance, now it's the bull run of meme coins, and Mother Iggy is running very well. Let's have a look at the on-chain data most people aren't considering to find out how much longer this rally could last. Because here's something very useful about the Mother Iggy token. Most of the trading still happens in decentralized finance, it still happens on-chain, thus we can directly look at the data. The data is not hidden in the black box of centralized exchanges, it's all open at the public ledger. So currently the Mother token is at 16 cents, we more than doubled in the last week. This month we more than 8x'd, and the fully diluted market cap is still just at 161 million. Now what does that mean, 161 million? Let's have a look at meme coins ordered by market cap. We have to scroll quite a lot down, all the way to the tokens that are in the 300s. APU is slightly larger, Cog Inu is slightly smaller. But why am I then discussing a token that's that small? What's interesting about this that I'm looking at something that low in the ranking? The answer is over here. What we've got here is dexscreener.com, and we are looking at the Solana chain, and we all assets on the Solana chain by their liquidity pool size. So how much capital is actually on chain locked up in various tokens. And the Mother Iggy token is at rank number 10. It's actually the 10th largest token on chain. It might be at rank 300 something in terms of market cap, but what really matters is how much liquidity is locked up in a token. And there we are at market rank 10 on Solana. Now let's have a look at a few on-chain metrics. Let's find out how many new investors versus recurring traders there are in the token. Because if a lot of new people jump on the token, that would be good. That means that the investor base is growing, and a growing investor base means potentially a rising price. Unfortunately, right now, we do not see a lot of first-time traders. We had a massive influx on the 29th of May, so that was over here. Subsequently, the price rose by more than 10x. But then this somewhat flipped. The number of recurring traders and first-time traders were pretty equal most days. And on the 7th of June, we mainly had recurring traders. We didn't see that many new people coming in anymore. Today, the data hasn't yet finished, so we're actually not that inactive in the token. So the 7th of June is a bit problematic. Here's the 7th of June on the chart. This is when the price stopped rising somewhat. Ideally, we also want to see how the very large investors get into a token, right? The whales, they tend to make the right calls. If there's a lot of trading volume happening among the larger wallets, the wallets that have more than $100,000 worth of the token, that would be good. Unfortunately, we don't see this here yet. The trading volume by large retail tends to rather decline, and the trading volume by small and medium-sized retail tends to rather increase. And so here's the big question. It looks like the growth so far had been quite organic and not manipulated. As in, the amount of views seems to be relatively reasonable relative to the number of followers on Twitter. The number of subscribers in Telegram also is pretty much aligned with 15,000. The number of holders on chain is at 27,000, so that also makes sense. And again, most trading volume happens on decentralized exchanges, which is good. This does give us some upside potential in case we do see a listing on centralized exchanges that of course tends to push up the price. And so this is usually how it starts. There's a lot of liquidity on chain, and over time the centralized exchanges tend to buy into the token. As they buy into the token, at some point there will be a listing when there's enough tokens for market making available. And with those listings, interest of course also increases, and with increased interest we see a rising price. So I believe there is a lot of potential upside here still. The number of holders isn't huge. The liquidity on chain is already quite established, but currently there isn't a lot of momentum. We do need to see another push. So that's true for the number of investors that aren't growing quickly enough, but it's also true for the general altcoin market. Unfortunately, we do not see a lot of new inflows of stable coins. So what we've got over here is the stablecoin market cap over time. We had an expanding crypto ecosystem up until the middle of April. Since then, there isn't too much fiat getting converted into stablecoins anymore. So the expansion has halted, and that of course also hurts altcoin prices. There's one more interesting thing that I noticed in the data today. Have a look at this here. Today, the number of buys was 19,700, the number of sales 8,000. The buying volume and selling volume was pretty much balanced out, so there was a bit more selling, that's why we see the falling price. The number of buyers and sellers is also relatively equal, with the sellers somewhat overhanging. So what you can see here is that the buyers tend to buy much more often than the sellers. So there are people or specific wallets that are currently buying several times. So there are dollar cost averagers in here. This could be a sign of centralized exchanges buying low here under low volume when there's not a lot of activity. So yes, this is a very risky token. It does have a lot of upside as well, but there's definitely a bet on centralized exchange listings. I am planning to buy some of the token as well. Not a lot, but a bit. I'm planning to. I haven't bought yet, right? So this is not a channel where I buy beforehand and then release a video and then pump and dump a coin. I'm not doing that. I don't like this conflict of interest. I might potentially buy some after this video, several hours after releasing of this video. I will continue to make updates on the Mother token on this channel, so feel free to subscribe. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. In case you've got Telegram, then feel free to check out the channel. The link is down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you.